Sports Journal, brought to you in part by Phillips Building Supply and Phillips Lumber Plus in Laurel and Ellisville.
Phillips Building Supply, the name you've trusted since 1954, along with Lumber Plus, takes the headache out of home improvement. Whether you're an experienced builder or need advice on a do-it-yourself project, the pros at Phillips Building Supply in Laurel can help. From foundation to finish, you'll save money and find distinctive, hard-to-find items, or purchase through Phillips Special Order Department for the really unique. Now more than ever, the wise builder buys at Phillips Building Supply in Laurel and Ellisville and Phillips Lumber Plus in Laurel.
Friends, here at Dove Ford Liquor Mercury Chicken, there's no small print and no surprises. The price advertised is the price that you pay. We've got a great selection of F-150 Ford pickup trucks. They're unloading them daily. We've got over 50 to select from in the Super Cab, 1992 model, low price. After the rebate, friends, $11,988. Only Dove Ford Liquor Mercury Chicken. Now don't wait. Come on over to lower price.
Use the hotline.
Coming up on Sports Journal, the Oak Grove Warriors and Coach Gary Ivey trying to win their second game of the season. And also we'll look at USM as it gets ready to take on Louisiana Tech. Hello and welcome to another edition of Sports Journal. Coach Higg and I sitting here waiting for you to come and see us. We're going to have a good time. Coach Higg, we got another slate of football games, maybe one of the best slates we've had all year.
Hey, that's right. I was listening to some of them coming down.
I tell you what, we're getting ready. We're getting started. What we got coming up, let's turn. South Jones versus Oak Grove, Petal versus North Forest, Taylorsville versus Mount Olive, Columbia taking on Collins. We now go to Oak Grove, where South Jones and the cheerleaders were dancing around over there, and South Jones is a good team. And they have a young man named Norris Miller who goes in for the touchdown. South Jones getting the early advantage and winning this football game over Oak Grove big. The final, South Jones over Oak Grove 42-13. Oh, Jack Thompson has his team going, huh, Coach?
Right. It was 14-13 at halftime, and then, of course, it was a big second half for South Jones.
Snowball, snowball, snowball. Meanwhile, at North Forest in Eatonville, here comes the Eagles taking on Petal, and the Eagles score early, 7-0. North Forest, and then the celebration would start as Petal would try to get some offense going and would do some late in the ball game, but North Forest was a winner. The final, Dexter Dean running there, North Forest over Petal 33-20. The Eagles are still undefeated as we speak. Petal now a young football team, but playing well. No down on the Neville bar, despite being young, huh, Coach?
Right. I was talking to Coach Waltman this afternoon, and he was expecting a real tough ball game.
I'll tell you what, good football game. Meanwhile, at Mount Olive, Taylorsville took on those Mount Olive Pirates, and big crowd out there. And then Taylorsville goes, Ted Ducksworth here hits his receiver, his touchdown pass. Ducksworth is small, but he can throw that football. And the Mount Olive cheerleaders were dancing around trying to get the team into it, but Taylorsville is so tough. This is that big one. Andrew Autry up the middle here, strong as a bull. 24-yard run to the 4. It sets up the touchdown by Autry. Taylorsville winning big over Mount Olive. The final, Taylorsville over Mount Olive, 47-7. How would you love to have a team like that, huh, Coach?
Hey, Taylorsville is loaded with talent. Of course, you saw this last week in the area leaders. Autry, McGill are leading.
Oh, yeah.
They, of course, Taylorsville has people leading in every category. Passing, rushing, receiving.
That's unbelievable.
They're going to be tough.
And that McGill kid is only a sophomore. Meanwhile, we now go to Collins, where Columbia was in town. Columbia undefeated in the band playing. Here's number 36 here. This is Otis from the 7-yard line to the 1. Sets up the fumble by Columbia here. And it's retrieved. And everybody runs that box over there. Collins coming around. This is number 6 here, but we have a little flag here out in the end zone. And Collins had his troubles, and Columbia had his troubles. Look at this. In the end zone here and gets away. What was the final in this game? Great effort, even though he only went a few yards. Columbia remains undefeated, winning 16-14. So, Coach, We've got South Jones a winner. We have North Forest a winner. Taylorsville looks unstoppable, and Columbia stays undefeated.
Yes, Columbia is still undefeated. Of course, Coach Ebb's got a young team at Collins, and they've improved a little bit every week.
Yeah, boy, you got to be glad for Coach Porter. Coach Porter getting his 4th win of the year. Sports Journal continues in just a moment, but we've got some more things we want to show you. What else went on the gridiron tonight? Well, those Seminary Bulldogs were playing football. Their story in just a moment.
Piggy people, piggy people, piggy people, pig, pig. Piggy people, piggy.
It's time for lunch.
Piggy people, piggy people, pig, poke.
It's just a fun thing for him to say, but I know that Polk stands for quality and good taste. So whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, I know it'll be good. The picky people at Polk see to that.
Piggy people, pig, poke.
M-I-S-S-I-S-S-I-P-P-I, miracle. Miracle.
Hello, this is Pat Robertson. You can learn to read. You can get your GED, and it's absolutely free. But this is the last week you can sign up for the Mississippi Miracle. Sign up at one of the 1,000 registration sites open throughout Mississippi this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, or call 1-800-446-7323.
Well, Coach, we've got Mize and Stringer, Bay Springs playing again, Northeast Jones versus West. That's even. If you don't win the game, you better win the fight, huh?
Those two were looking for a win tonight.
All right, you see the lineup: Seminary, Bay Springs, Mize and Stringer, Northeast Jones, and West Jones. More on Petal, North Forest. We now go to Bay Springs, where the Bulldogs are looking to play some football and earn some respectability. Early first half. Bay Springs is James Ross, a 210-pound linebacker, makes a stop here. No gain. Meanwhile, Seminary would make a run. Ben Dean goes over and scores, and it's 7-0 Seminary. But back comes Bay Springs. Bay Springs playing well at home. Hunter Caston here, getting the late pitch and running. Look at that. Stay on him. Nice camera work here, and he goes all the way to his own 4-yard line. From there, younger brother Reginald Worsley, a legend around these parts, goes in. Bay Springs with the score. Bay Springs beating Seminary. That's final. Bay Springs over Seminary 20-7. That's kind of a surprise, isn't it, Coach?
Yeah, it's a little bit of a surprise. I know I've been talking to Coach Williford more so than I have the coaches at Seminary, but he has a young ball club. He's been struggling. Of course, this will help him a good win.
I tell you what, yeah, you got to give it to Seminary for playing real hard. Meanwhile, what happened at Stringer? Stringer took on Mize, and Brandon Wade fools the camera and takes off running. Big old Brandon bowls over for a 24-yard run. From there, Coach Funk says, give the ball to J.J. Thick Penn. Thick Penn comes around the right side, finds a seam, and goes up the middle, counting for 15 yards on a score. 2-point conversion would be good for Stringer, who's playing well. Wade again, who just loves to run the football, just takes it around the side there. At the half, it was 22-0 Stringer over Mize. And Coach, we don't have a final yet. You Stringer folks, get in a phone call and let us know, because we know that you won the football game, but Stringer looks like it's ready to defend its title pretty well.
Right. I visited a little bit during the week with both of these coaches, and I know Coach Charles Ray Lee at Mize was ready for the challenge. He was trying to get his bunch ready to go to Stringer. He knew he had a challenge on his hands, and of course Stringer's got a good good senior ball club.
Yeah, they got a good football team.
Of course, Coach Funk was not satisfied with his win last week. Hopefully he will be this week.
Oh, Stringer winning yet another game. Meanwhile, North Forest and Petal had a great game, which was not the game of the week, but it was a great game. And we see some highlights now, though, from another area game. We see
going to be
West Jones and Northeast Jones, and West Jones playing defense. Number 10 of West Jones gave the offensive spark for Coach Mike Taylor's bunch. He goes around the right side, and look at this move. I might go all the way. So they had a ton of folks over there for that football game. Scores. West Jones up early, and 43-7. Coach Ishii having his early problems he has a young football team, huh?
Right, he's an extremely young football team. He's playing a lot of sophomores and a few juniors. He has almost no seniors on that ball club. Of course, Coach Taylor's been down. And,
right.
And, of course, they were both looking to get in the winning column tonight.
Good win for Coach Taylor.
Yes, sir.
All right. Northeast Jones and West Jones in the book. Meanwhile, as we said earlier, Petal and North Forest was a big game in the area. North Forest having a good football team, Petal a young football team. Coach Waltman trying to get his team prepared to play football. And from what we understand, Petal played really well early, but just subsided in the second half against North Forest, who looks like they could make a run with Taylorsville and Bassville for that 2A crown.
Right.
Okay, Taylorsville and Bassville and North Forest, 2A power. Who is with us? The coach of North Forest, Coach Alton Waltman, is standing by. Hey, Coach Waltman, how you doing?
Just fine.
Oh, just fine. The conservative one. This guy's one of the greatest coaches around in the area. Coach, tell us about tonight's win over Petal. What were the keys to success tonight?
Well, we hung in there real tough, I think, and kicking game really helped us. They were ahead of us in the third quarter, and kids kept fighting, and finally things started going our way, and we kind of wore them down, and we just was able to win the battle. But I think the big thing was the kicking game kept us in early, and we just kept playing hard.
Okay. Coach, you've had some injury problems a lot. You know, this early part of the year, but you've still been successful. What's the key? What's the key to playing through injuries?
Well, you just got to challenge everybody else to try to play as hard as they can and overcome it. We have had some people fill in and do some real good jobs, but it's really taken away from their rest time. The depth-wise, we just really need we need a lot of help, and we hopefully going to get a few of those people back as the season goes on.
Coach, you and I talked briefly this afternoon, and you told me you was expecting a real tough football game, and that's about what you had, sounds like, against Petal.
Yeah, we did. They fought us tooth and nail, and like I said, they came back and was ahead of us in the third quarter. But we hung in there and was able to overcome it.
Okay. Thank you, Coach Waltman, for being with us here on Sports Journal. Coach Alton Waltman of North Forest, congratulations on a great win. Hey, even modern-day television, this is what you call an IFB. It happens sometimes. What's coming up next? The big game. Hattiesburg versus Moss Point. Tiger versus Tiger. The full story with Tracy in just a moment.
Don't miss it. Every Sealy is on sale at your bedding headquarters, the Furniture Market. Receive a rebate of up to $75 when you purchase Sealy bedding. The Furniture Market, South 40th Avenue, Hattiesburg.
WDAM-TV's Profiles in Mississippi Businesses, the measure of success.
Hi, I'm Robert Hatfield. If you want to get your business's message in front of 90% of the near 100,000 households per week, advertise on WDAM. It works for us.
If you want to get the word out about your business to over 250,000 people in South Mississippi, just say it on WDAM.
This has been a WDAM-TV business profile measuring the success of Mississippi merchants.
Radio check, 1, 2, 3. 666, 7 miles northeast with the cardiac. Roger, running.
Find out about Air Force ROTC college scholarships.
In-flight emergency, Aerobac 666 on the
Because
ground.
in the Air Force, you can go as far as your talent and drive take you. Aim high, Air Force.
Yeah, it's a big game this weekend. No doubt, the biggest one in the state, Hattiesburg versus Moss Point. Number 6 versus number 1. What kind of game was it?
It was, should I say, a cat fight?
Hey! Oh, look at here. Look at you.
I had to do it.
That's all right.
Big game, obviously. Well, a big game, but a big game just might be an understatement.
That's a big understatement, a big one. It's more than a big one. This is an exciting time of year. You got the #1 team in the state coming in, and we're excited about it, and I know they're excited about it. And it's going to be a good football game. We're looking forward to it, and I know they are.
This one had the makings of a great game where two of the state's best teams would clash. Moss Point has certainly earned their top ranking. The Tigers from the coast have incredible talent, especially at the skill positions.
We feel like we have some pretty good receivers. You know, we feel like with a little experience, we'll be okay there. We talked a little bit about being ranked #1, but we tried to get the point across that being ranked #1 doesn't really matter that much until the end of the year.
So Hattiesburg has a huge task on their hands, but it's not one that's too big for the Tigers to overcome. Hattiesburg has surprised almost everyone in attaining their rank of 6th in the state. But in a game like this, records and rankings don't matter.
We'll have to be consistent. We'll have to. We can't give them the ball on our end of the field. We'll have to play better defense than we played the last 2 football games. The offense will have to continue to move the football. We'll have to get some first downs. We can't go out and run the ball 3 times and kick it. We'll have to move the football. We'll have to keep the football away from their offense.
So Hattiesburg must forget they're taking on the state's top team in Moss Point. The key to this game just might be who can put the first points on the board. Things couldn't have gone better for Hattiesburg coach Jim Sizemore early. The wet conditions played a major role in this game. Hattiesburg quarterback Richard Lucas gets around the corner, then gets popped, shaking the ball loose. Moss Point recovers, giving them the ball on the 43-yard line. The Hattiesburg defense shut the Tigers down all night. But on 4th and 21, Carlos Matthews finds Tyrese Williams open. He makes the catch and takes it inside the Hattiesburg 10-yard line. It looked like the Tigers were poised to score, but on 3rd and next to nothing, Moss Point went with a misdirection, which fooled me on the camera, but not the Hattiesburg defense. Moss Point fumbles, and Charles Anderson picks it up and went 97 yards to pay dirt. Trust me on that one. I know you can't see it. 7-0 Hattiesburg with 33 seconds left in the quarter. Hattiesburg appeared to have the Tigers confused and stunned offensively. The Hattiesburg defense made another big play midway through the second quarter. Matthews back to pass, but getting in the way is Clarence Moy. He pulls in the interception and then plays like a Timex. He takes a licking and keeps on ticking all the way down to the 2-yard line. From there, Hattiesburg's Charles Hicks does the dirty work, going 2 yards on the sweep. The extra point was blocked, but Hattiesburg led 13-0 early in the second quarter. Neither team could get any offense going, but Hattiesburg continued to direct the momentum of this game and went in with a 13-0 lead at the half. It was more the same in the second half as the Hattiesburg defense controlled the line of scrimmage. Just ask Reginald Hunters. He gets punished trying to go for the big gainer. Moss Point finally got a drive together when Brian Williams breaks free and tiptoes down the sidelines for the big gainer, taking it inside the Hattiesburg 10-yard line. After taking a break for the quarter, Williams finished what he started by taking it in on the 5-yard sweep. The extra point was good, and it cut the lead to 13-7 Hattiesburg with 11:05 left to play. Moss Point would add a safety, but that's as close as this one would get. Hattiesburg upsets the top-ranked Moss Point Tigers. 13-9 is your final.
Purple rain all over Hattiesburg. Purple rain. Hattiesburg over Moss Point trade. Great game, huh?
It was a great game, but it reeked of an upset early because of the wet conditions. Moss Point is a team that depends on their speed, and with this wet turf out there, they couldn't get their footing and they couldn't get outside. It made a real difference in the game.
Thank you, Tracy. Another great job. Meanwhile, let's switch over, and we're going to tell you that West Marion was in town to take on Bassfield. Hey, how did that come out? West Marion played hard. The full story in just a moment.
Walters Furniture and Carpet is your headquarters for quality furniture, carpet, and wallpaper. Come see our broad selection of carpet with styles and textures sure to fit any decor. Rolls and rolls of wallpaper in beautiful designs and colors. A large selection of furniture from recliners to bedroom suites. Walters Furniture and Carpet, one of South Mississippi's largest suppliers of wall and floor coverings at 320 North 12th Avenue in Laurel. So come to Walters, where we have you covered from the floor up.
Southern Mississippi versus Louisiana Tech, 1 p.m. Be there. Your day begins at 10 a.m. with the symbolic firing of the cannon. Bring the family and enjoy being a part of the Eagle family. Don't be a couch potato. Enjoy college football this weekend, 1 p.m. at M.M. Roberts Stadium. College football is more than just football. It's family fun before and after the game with the Pride and the Dixie Darlings. So what else is there to do that is so much fun as an Eagle Saturday?
All right, back on Sports Journal with Coach Higg. And Coach Higg, what do you think about Eric Booth out of Bassfield? You think he's a pretty good football player?
Hey, he's a great football player. He's going to be one of the better ones in the South.
Boy, I tell you, I wish he was my cousin. You know, he made me look like I'm pretty good. What's coming up on this show? We got 4 more games for you. West Marion at Bassville, Chamberlain Hunt at Prentice Christian, and that's Perry Central at Poplarville, St. John at Lumberton. Let's go to Biceville, where the cheerleaders wear interesting uniforms, but they cheer them up. Look at this. This is the kickoff, and Bassville gets it and comes up the field. Look at here. Gets as far as the 5 here, and they love us down there in Bassville. And it was then time for, after a fumble here, it was time for Mr. Booth, number 30, who might be the best player in the South. Takes him on the right side, looking for a seam, spinning. Track meet! Boy, I tell you, look at that. Anybody near this guy? Touchdown, 95 yards. He gained 200 yards in the first half. What was the score there? Usually when he runs well, Bassville wins. Bassville over West Marion, 42-14. Coach?
Yes, Coach Charles Bradbury is, of course, he's got his team rolling by like Taylorsville. I know we'll match up down the road.
They look pretty awesome. Meanwhile, at Prentice Christian, the Saints, taking on Chamberlain Hunt, number 21 of the Wildcats here, coming around, and a fumble. Picked up by the Wildcats here, only to turn it over and get it back on a strange play. This is quarterback Trey Brown to his wide receiver, going way back here, but intercepted. Young man, number 10, Jay Bass, tries to come around here, and he fumbles, and the quarterback who threw the interception gets his own ball back. Prentice Christian was leading that football game. All right. Hey, Coach, I tell you what, Prentice Christian has always played well under Jack Bailey, a veteran coach.
Right. I've been knowing Coach Bailey for some years now, and I know he's undefeated going in tonight, I think.
Right.
And of course, we don't have the final score.
That's right. Prentice Christian playing well. Another updated score. I want to make sure everybody knows that North Forest beat Petal 33-12. Stringer over Meigs 40-15. Let's go to some more football. It's the Hornets of Poplarville playing football tonight, and they're playing hard. That's what you call 3 yards and some dust there, huh? Against Pearl River Central. This is Perry Central here, and look at this young effort here by this young man here. And what happened in this football game? Who won it? Well, I can tell you that Poplarville was beaten by Perry Central. Coach David Hopper's team, Coach.
Yeah, Coach Hopper has got his Perry Central folks rolling.
That's a shocker right there. Poplarville's had a good team for a long time. Perry Central playing real well.
Perry Central's improved this year considerably.
Right. Coach Coates' team in Lumberton was playing football as well. Lumberton hosting St. John from the coast. And this is St. John here, and the effort by Edmund Salmon for 14 yards. Then St. John's kicks up. What? 52-yard field goal. But Lumberton comes back. This is the quarterback here, going back to pass. Burt White to number 21. Touchdown! Well, near touchdown anyway. Panthers come up with some big points here. And we don't have a score yet, but Lumberton was leading the football game against its opponent, St. John. All right, we have a whole bunch of things we want to talk about. Plus, Rodney Allison, USM's assistant head coach, is here to talk about the big game between Southern Mississippi and Louisiana Tech. We'll continue with more Sports Journal in just a moment, but now scores of interest.
Phillips Building Supply, the name you've trusted since 1954, along with Lumber Plus, takes the headache out of home improvement. Whether you're an experienced builder or need advice on a do-it-yourself project, the pros at Phillips Building Supply in Laurel can help. From foundation to finish, you'll save money and find distinctive, hard-to-find items, or purchase through Phillips Special Order Department for the really unique. Now more than ever, the wise builder buys at Phillips Building Supply in Laurel and Ellisville and Phillips Lumber Plus in Laurel.
Friends, here at Dove Egg Ford Liquor Mercury Chicken, there's no small print and no surprises. The price advertised is the price that you pay. We've got a great selection of F-154 pickup trucks. They're unloading them daily. We've got over 50 to select from in the Super Cab, 1992 model, low price. After the rebate, friend, $11,988. Only Dove Herring Ford, Lincoln, Murphy, and Kitchener. Now don't wait. Come on over to lower price.
Use the hotline.
Sports Journal, brought to you in part by Dove Herring Ford Lincoln Mercury, home of That's a Good Car, Pawpaw.
Boy, you got to go see Pawpaw. Pawpaw do you a great deal down at Dove Herring Ford, and plus our other sponsor, Phillips Building Supply. We want to thank those folks for making our kids look good. Rodney Allison, who once was a kid, Heisman Trophy candidate at one time when he was at Texas Tech, now the assistant head coach at Southern Miss, running backs coach here, and he's talking about the football game. Coach, what do you think about Louisiana Tech? Good team?
We've got a challenge in front of us, Mitchell. It's a football team that has got a lot of talent. They've really done well. They have not lost a football game in 13 games. They've had 2 ties along that period, and you know, they've got a lot of talent, and you know, we've got a challenge in front of us. It's going to be a good football team, and it's a good football game, and it's a good challenge for our football team.
What's the keys to beating this team? You know, they play pretty good defense. They've beaten Baylor. You know, they beat Baylor 10-9. They've got a good defense. What's the key to beating this team?
Well, I think it's obvious from, you know, everybody that watches Southern Miss that we've got to play better offensively. Coach Thompson has come into Southern Miss from Louisiana Tech. It makes that story a little bit more interesting, and this game a little bit more interesting. But, you know, our defense has really played well, and they've done an outstanding job. And we were not very productive offensively last week against Alabama. And, you know, offensively, we've challenged our football team, offensive football team, to play better and, you know, to respond and help the defense out to a certain degree.
Right.
And if we can do that, we'll have an opportunity to win the football game.
I tell you what, Coach, he also coaches the running backs, Chris Buckhalter out of Collins and Michael Welch, who is out of Georgia. Some of those kids that play for you. How many backs you hope to play tomorrow? Maybe about 4 or 5.
Well, I'm real pleased with my players at that position, and you know, Buckhalter obviously is a young man that we want to get more involved in our offense, and you know, Barry Boyd is another young man that's a junior college player out of Fort Scott that we want to get more involved in our offense, and you know, we're looking forward to maybe putting a little bit more speed on the field, and Buckhalter and Boyd are those kind of players that we need to, you know, to be more productive, to help us be more productive offensively. But, you know, we're going to try to get more speed in the game and from that standpoint.
Coach Rodney Allison, assistant head coach at Southern Mississippi, he won't predict, but I tell you, Southern's going to beat Louisiana Tech. I hope. Ha! Hey, what's tomorrow's games? Tomorrow's games, we have the big Southern Miss Louisiana Tech game. That is the big game on this show for Sports Journal. Mississippi State versus Memphis State, Ole Miss versus Vanderbilt, Alcorn State versus Alabama State, Jackson State versus Stephen F. Austin. What happened with the Braves tonight? Well, the Braves took on the Houston Astros, and some interesting things happened early. Ron Gant gets every bit of this ball off Pete Harnish. Gone, 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 gone. And the Braves with an early advantage. But here comes Houston. Houston gets some offense from their young kids. Look at this play. Fly ball here by Big Pete Incavilla. The play is made by Dave Justice. A young man from third will come flying, but what happens? Don't play catcher. Greg Olson, he shattered an ankle tonight. He had a brace around his neck, and they carried him off the field. Right now, Houston is blasting Atlanta right now. At last report, 12-3. 13-3 now, final. Houston over Atlanta, 13-3. All right. Got a score in by Tony Mastro, who works our phones for us. Wayne Academy beat Kemper Academy tonight, 18-0. All right. Coach Rodney Allison, we want to thank Coach Allison for being with us. Coach Higg for coming by and giving us some expert analysis. Thanks, Phillips Building Supply and Dub Herring Ford. Go see Pawpaw and get a car. For our whole staff, it's pizza time. We're going to go eat some pizza. Thank you, Anthony McCollum from Pizza Hut, to give us some food so we can laugh about it and talk about this show. See you later tomorrow, because we're going to have all the highlights for this man and this man's game. We'll see you. Take care. Now, scores of interest from everywhere.